So I really believe that life begins on the other side of our fears. Freedom is on the other side of fear. I really believe that, especially after tonight. I don't know the right way to word that, but just that sense that on the other side of our fears, life begins. Freedom begins. And so tonight I went to a church event. It's like a weekly event that just started this week. And I don't even really know what it's about, but it's just meeting people. So I don't know anybody there, and I just go. I've been going to church for a couple of months, so this is all new to me. And I've talked about social anxiety before, something I struggle with. So for me, it's like a big step, just being willing to go to events where I don't know anybody and I don't know what it's about. Like I don't have a clear role. There isn't a clear structure. It's funny because it's starting to feel like the old me in a way, the old script, how the old script would run. So that's really cool. And that's just after tonight. That's just after the first session. It's like becoming more conscious of the scripts I run. And even just because we break off into small groups and talk, and someone's leading the group and they ask questions, and it's all voluntary. We can give answers or we don't have to talk. But it's very much facing my deep fears of socializing in a group where I don't have a clear sense of my role. There's not a clear sense of purpose as to why I'm there. It's like head on with my fears, but it's cool just sitting with the excruciation, and then the night wraps up and you go home, even though I still feel like awkward, shy, Jamal, whatever. But once I go home, I realize, I'm driving home and I think it actually wasn't that bad. And you faced your fears, bro-ski. You faced your fears. So I really believe that is the key, like small exposure to your fears, but consistent exposure. And it's weird, even just as I'm talking, I'm feeling like there's cracks in the Jamal script that I've been running my whole life. I'm starting to see cracks in it where I could like break through to the other side, if you feel me. I'm starting to see this script as a script and not something that imprisons me, which is interesting. Was not expecting that for the conclusion of my Wednesday evening, where it's just routine. I do my teaching, I do my admin, I have my dinner, I go to bed, and then you wake up again, you have a shower. I was not expecting to confront the fears head on and start to see the old script dissolving. I didn't even know I was going to talk about this in terms of the script dissolving, disappearing. I just wanted to talk about the possibility that freedom exists on the other side of fear. And, it's not like I'm a social butterfly. It's not like I'm facing my fears and I'm suddenly just the life of the party. I'm very much in my little cocoon. And like I said, it's excruciating. I'm like looking at the ground. When there's like silence, it kills me. I don't mind silence when I'm by myself, but it's when there's silence in a group. It's just like, is someone going to talk? What are we all doing here? I don't want to step on anyone's toes. That's mostly my thing. I don't know how to explain it. I'm very receptive to people's personalities. I think maybe that's why I'm good as a tutor, because I can just work with students of all ages and abilities, but also all temperaments I can work with, because I don't know how to explain it. It's like I give them space to exist, or I don't know, I'm like not a soundboard necessarily for them, but I'm just very open. I don't know the correct word I'm looking for. But it's also from a place of not wanting to step on someone's toes. So I like letting people be open with their personality because I'm able to just kind of put mine, I can hang mine up like a coat and put it on the coat rack. And I try to just give you your experience. And if it's in a tuition setting, maybe just guide you here and there to things you may be missing, but in a very gentle way where you don't even realize I'm there. So I'm wondering about that. I'm wondering about that aspect of myself because that's what I find when I'm in those social settings, in a small group, we're all introducing ourselves, that kind of thing. And when it goes like completely quiet and I just feel like I just stare at the ground. I'm like, I can't do this. I don't know when I'm meant to speak, who's meant to be speaking. And sometimes when people are speaking around me, it's funny how everyone's like a character. I think of that Kanye West quote, that Ye quote, and he says something to the effect of, we're all unpaid actors in a giant script that we didn't write. That's one of the most profound statements that I've ever heard from any human alive or living and dead, past and present. Because sometimes it can feel like people just know the right words to say, the right phrase at the right time, and you have someone's the comedian and someone's like the deep person. Everyone's like playing their role just in all social interactions. Maybe I'm looking too deep into it, but that's the level I exist on, is the depth. But maybe that's the character I'm playing. So I don't know if this is, if I'm getting like too out there or whatever, but that's just what I'm thinking about. I get to a point where I may not have anything to input and I just observe how someone says something and then someone else says the perfect line and then I'm laughing. But for me, I don't know. I'm learning, I'm understanding, I'm figuring it out. But yeah, and I don't know if it's not like I'm looking to work on these fears of like social anxiety. It's not like I want to be or expect to be that life of the party character, that like larger than life caricature. It's not like I want to be that. Like, I think when you're growing up and you see people like that, and you can get kind of envious maybe because you want to be that, maybe. But I just kind of reached an age where I just decided I don't even really mind. If someone wants to be that person, they can, but I don't really mind anymore. I'm just not attached to that because I've got my little nook. I've got my music. I know how to express myself musically, or at least I have confidence in expressing myself musically. I'm always learning how to better express myself, and there's new emotions, new experiences to express as you age and as you go through life. But I just mean musically, I'm okay sharing my music, performing in front of people. But it's still, you're still putting yourself out there, even though it may seem like I've got the music confidence down. It's still, you enter new situations, new environments. You're still putting yourself out there. I guess you just get better at breaking the ice. You get more comfortable breaking that ice. So I don't know. My conversation's just kind of going all over the place tonight, but it's cool. It's cool. I just wanted to share because I just feel like these group sessions are helping me a lot, even though I find it excruciating. And sometimes I don't know, I'd love to be able to explain this thing where sometimes it's like my brain can't handle when people are laughing too much. I don't know, because like I laugh with the jokes, but I don't know what it is. Sometimes I feel like my brain can't meet the energy. It's kind of like, I heard a comedian talking about years ago, I can't remember which comedian, how, you know, when you're watching even like a comedian or a funny movie, you reach that point where you start, I don't know, thinking about something in life, and then you find it hard to laugh. Like you're out of laughing energy. Even, yeah, you know, maybe it's like your social battery's running dry. So, but my whole point with today's talk, is just to say that I really believe that life begins on the other side of your fears. Your life begins on the other side of your fears. Freedom is through facing your fears head on and then realizing there wasn't really much to fear anyway. But when you're on the previous side, the prior side of fear, it's this like thing, it's like your whole personality is like, trembling. And then you go through it, and it's not like you ace it or anything, you just go through it. And then you come out the other side, and then afterwards you reflect, that wasn't that bad. And now it's like predictable. So I know it goes from A to B, this happens, this happens. There might be variation along the way. And then maybe that's like reshaping, maybe you're remapping your own brain, like restructuring your own brain through these experiences that you once feared. By going through them very gently, piece by piece, bit by bit, you're allowing yourself to rewire and create new experiences or a new relationship to the experience, which is then based in a kind of familiarity and a pattern that you can understand. And then it really feels like the old you start to like see through the cracks of the old you, the script you're running, because we're all running these scripts. We're all just like going through life. I got to do this, I got to do that, and I got to call this person. Hi, see you later. Yep, good, thanks. How are you? Good, thanks. Blah blah blah. But every now and again, you have these moments where you just like do a little sidestep, and you realize, hey, we're all just like acting out these psychological scripts. What if we could pierce through the narrative? Maybe we can hang it up on the shelf. Hang up this whole Jamal game, hang up this whole you game. Let's just put that one on the shelf, and let's just be here. Let's just be present for one moment in this lifespan where we don't know where we came from. We don't really know much about anything. We know a lot about the world. We know a lot about science and technology. We're very clever. We're ingenious. But we still don't know what we're doing here, how we got here. Just these fundamental basic things. Who we are. It's crazy when you think about it. So I just encourage you to face your fears gently, step by step. I'm doing it. I'm not on the other side of it. I'm going through the thick of it as we speak. But I'm just so grateful for supportive groups. I'm infinitely grateful. And I'm just grateful for people having patience with me. And I just want to be a better person overall. I just want to know how I can be better as a human in this limited lifespan. I just want to know how I can be the best of whatever it is I'm meant to be, what my purpose and function is while I'm here. And I look forward to more opportunities to chisel through the superstructure of the self, the ego, the self, whatever you want to call it, the personality game, the narrative of the mind. I look forward to penetrating through the veil, the illusion, and finding who I really am and what this is really about, because it's profound. It's profound. It is extremely profound. So I'm just so grateful. I'm grateful for the church, the Catholic Church. I'm grateful for group sessions. I'm grateful for people in the community. I'm just grateful for open and supportive people, and just for the opportunities to face fear. I'm grateful for my fears, because then I get the opportunity to face them and meet them and realize most of the time there's nothing to fear. But when we haven't faced the fear, it looks like this big giant. It's like if a cat goes past a lamp and you just see the shadow and you just think, oh my gosh, there's a massive, some kind of wildebeest. But if you just look closer, I mean, maybe it is a wildebeest, maybe you should run. But I just mean in terms of shadow projections, maybe it is just something that our mind has enlarged, has blown way out of proportion. If we want to talk about the nature of the mind and the nature of projection, not even just in psychological terms, but just in terms of, well, I guess it is psychological, but I mean it like more like how a movie projects onto a screen, how the mind projects onto reality, onto the world, and we think it's so real, but maybe it's just a projection that we can stand back from. We don't have to be caught up in it. We can put it down. We can take off that costume, and there may be someone else. There may be like another being within, and then maybe there's another costume we got to take off and put it over there, and then maybe there's another one. But then what's left once you take off all the costumes? What is left at the core? You know, it's kind of fascinating. And I want to get there, but there's no there to get anywhere, you know? There's nowhere to get to. Sound like New Age spirituality, like it's here, it's right now, it's be here now. But I just mean that process of stripping the layers of the self, of the ego, of the personality. And I don't know, I'm curious. Yeah, I want to exist in that place, and I want to be around people who facilitate and support that. And I invite you into my journey, this whole experience of my going through this. And I love you so much. Thank you for listening. And I'll talk to you soon. Peace out, baby.